and welcome to episode 1 of Kick It With Me. I am so glad you're here and thank you for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and liking this video, that would be amazing. So today's topic is blissful balance. How to manage a consistent exercise routine when you've got a busy life. And the quote for today is going to be, do things at your own pace. Life is not a race. I love me some good rhymes. Rhymes and puns, that's my favorite thing. All right, so my name is Meg, and if you didn't watch the introductory video, please feel welcome to go and watch that. It gives you a little bit more information about who I am and why I'm making these vlogs. So today we're going to talk about a various amount of ways you can incorporate exercise routine into your daily life, whether you are a working mom, stay-at-home mom, partly working, partly stay-at-home, you are a student and having a hard time getting your fitness routine into your studies and classes and all that, or if you're just really overworked, you're very dedicated to your job, which a lot of us are, and you feel like you don't really have time to, really make that effort for your fitness routine. So I have basically been it all. So I've been, in the fitness industry for quite a long time now, and I've been, a workaholic. I've been in school, so I know what it's like to struggle with studies as well as an exercise routine. I know I've been a stay-at-home mom, I've been a working mom, I've been that halfway between stay-at-home and working, and I've been probably anywhere that you are, I've probably been there. And this is why I've decided to make this video, because of a couple things that have inspired me and helped me along my journey. The key to anything is obviously we want balance. And if something's not balanced, then we're going to feel off in some sort of way. But the biggest thing with your exercise routine is you need to look at your current lifestyle and you need to figure out what area you are able to add a little bit of fitness into. So, when I first had my son, it was awesome. He worked out with me. He was a very content baby. I could, do workouts with him. I took him to a mommy and me class, which actually that wasn't too fun, but if anybody's gone to like a mommy and me class where they've taken the little baby and they've just cried the whole time and you're like, this is not enjoyable. Anyway, so what I found for me worked out was workouts at home with him. So we would, make it fun. We would do planking together. We would do jump squats. So when he was about 6 months old, I put him in the little jolly jumper thing, and I would do my jump squats and he would jump next to me. Oh my gosh, he thought it was the best thing in the world. And honestly, it was a good way for me to get my exercise and as well to entertain him as well. So quite similar to how babies and kids have a very short attention span. I have a short attention span too. So I would go and do those jump squats and then he would get bored and I'm like, great, I'm bored too, so let's move on. We would go do push-ups, and as we were doing push-ups, I would give him a little kiss on the head and then back up and then, and he thought that was so funny. And it was definitely a good bonding experience as well as a good way to incorporate my fitness routine. Now, when I had my daughter, absolutely amazing. Now, I could probably, mind you, I also had a 3-year-old boy. So when I had my daughter, it was a little bit different because I had to, I think I might have had maybe a 10-minute span to work out before both of them decided, that's it, no more. So I would basically just try to fit as many exercises as I could that were safe. So exercises that are safe without a warm-up, obviously, because your body really does need to get a good warm-up in if you're doing a very specific workout. However, I would spend 10-15 minutes doing certain exercises that I knew were safe for my body, stretches, all that fun stuff. And although 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, I do it 2 or 3 times a day, which ends up being anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. So, I mean, it did kind of accumulate, which that's my hope. When you are a mom of a newborn and a baby and a newborn or a baby and a young child, it is a lot more difficult to enjoy your fitness routine and have them do it with you. So in that aspect, my biggest thing was just getting what I could when I could. I actually used to take my daughter out running. My son and I would go biking. I put my daughter in the stroller. My son would go on his bike, and we would just run. And that was a lot of fun. Fun. See what? Yeah. So I do some push-ups on the bench, lunges, and there were quite a few times where I was like, oh my gosh, it would be so much easier if I just had the kids to drop. If I could just drop the kids off and go do my hour workout. But because it was COVID, there wasn't anybody to watch the kids, and there also wasn't a facility to go to the gym. So I did a lot of park workouts and all of that. And whether it be that you don't have the finances to be able to have someone to watch your kids while you exercise, but whatever, like we can make it work. And it's not easy, it's definitely difficult, but for me, I prioritized my exercise routine because I knew that my mental health depended on that exercise routine. So even if it was 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there, I was moving my body, and that was my goal at that stage of my life. So the thing to understand is that our body craves exercise. Our body craves movement. And if you're feeling off, if you're feeling like something's, like you're irritable or this or that, just something's not right, my advice is move in some sort of way. In any way that is safe for you, move and see how your body feels after you give it that movement that maybe it's been asking for. All right, so for those of you that are a stay-at-home mom, I commend you because it is not easy being a stay-at-home mom. Oh my gosh, being a stay-at-home mom is one of the hardest jobs you will ever have to do. And that's not taking away from the working mamas, it's not taking away from the students, it's not taking away from anybody in that aspect. That's not my intention. But being a working mom or being a stay-at-home mom is something that it takes a piece of you, and it's worth it, 100% worth it. It's always worth it. But it does take a piece of you because as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to value your own exercise routine. And as a working mom, it's good because you have a schedule, right? You have a schedule. It's like, okay, I can drop the kids off to daycare, get a quick workout in, and then head to work. That's great. Stay-at-home moms, you are the daycare, right? And a lot of the times, for me, my partner and I, we've done quite a lot of work together to make our life as balanced as possible, where, he's picking up some ends and I'm picking up some ends, but there's a time that I think every relationship goes through when you first get into the routine of having kids, that the mom kind of takes over quite a bit. And when that happens, we neglect ourselves, to be pretty frank. So we'll neglect our hair. I'll tell you, my hair was just like horrible, matted. My best friend came over after I had my son, and oh my gosh, she is everything. She came over to my parents' house and she gave me a foot rub and she combed out my hair after I had my baby. Yeah, she did. And like, I still remember it to this day. It's like 7 years later, and I'm like, I want to tear up because like just the fact that she cared enough to do that. And she was combing through my hair, and I didn't realize because I was so busy caring for a newborn, but my hair was completely matted, like complete big mats in the back. And I am so blessed that I have a friend that cared enough for me to come and do that. But that's just a little bit of what I mean. We neglect ourselves, and we also neglect our body. So we'll notice that a lot of the time, we don't prioritize our fitness. We don't prioritize our eating habits. Like, I see so many moms, and I was guilty of this as well, where we would make our kids these cute little heart lunches, like these heart-shaped sandwiches, and then we would eat the crust off of them, and like just the scraps we would eat, or whatever they didn't eat. That was our lunch, and that's just like, it's just surviving, and it's surviving. But what I found really saved me being a stay-at-home mom was creating a little bit of an exercise routine. So like I said, that 10 minutes here and there, blah, 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 that was my go-to when I was a stay-at-home mom. Now, being a working mom, and I'm talking, I have a business, I have 2 jobs, so technically I have 3 jobs, and I also have 2 kids and a house to look after, which we all know that's fun. Actually, I have an apartment, so I'm lucky because it's all 1 floor. I personally like the 1 floor. It's nice because, anyways, now with that was one of the most stressful things that I feel, I don't know why I even put myself in that position, to be honest. I felt after COVID and after being at home with the kids for a 1.5 to 2 years, I was just like, I want to fit as much into my schedule as I can. I just want to be jam-packed, and maybe that'll take a little bit of what was going on up here. So if you're in that position where you're overworked, and it might not even be because of the reasons I was in, maybe it's financial, maybe it's whatever it is, if you're going through a very intense job where you've got a schedule that is literally jam-packed and you don't feel like you can add in exercise into your routine, just keep in mind that it is one of the needed things in your life, right? So we need water, we need shelter, we need food, we need exercise. Like, those are all the main things that we need as humans to survive. And if we're not giving our body what it needs, then what's going to happen is it's going to come out in different areas, right? Like for me, if I don't get my workout in, I become like hangry. You know when you don't eat and you like become like hangry, like you're hungry, angry, but that's for me, working out. So I don't even know what I would call that, like wangry, workout angry, I don't know. Anyways, but that's me. If I'm angry, if I'm irritable, if something doesn't feel right, usually I take a look and I'm like, did I exercise today? No. So gotta go and get some exercise in. And as a working mom, it's definitely important to have a very good schedule. You have to time everything to the exact minute in order to get everything done and everything accomplished. Now for me, I went to bed quite early. I'd go to bed by 8:30 with the kids. I'd wake up at about anywhere from 5 to 6:30. And yeah, I would, some days, I'm not gonna say that, I'm gonna be real in all honesty, most days I did not get up at 5 a.m. to work out. Some days I did. There were some days that I got up at 5 a.m. to work out, and that was great. But a lot of the time I had to schedule it on either like a lunch break or a quick, break that I had in between dropping the kids off and going to work. So I mean, like, it's not easy, but it's definitely possible. Or, there's times where I had to say to my husband, hey, you're gonna have to take the kids for a little bit so that I can go for my workout. And usually he's like, yeah, you need a workout. Because like, I just, I need movement. He calls me a dog actually, because yesterday we went for a walk as a family, because I just needed to get out. On the weekends I usually have my 2 rest days, so yesterday we were taking a walk and he's like, you're literally like a dog. And I said, I know, I need to have a walk or something every day. But that's just how I am. So something that I suggest, even if you are a student, just someone who works quite a lot, maybe you're even struggling a little bit mental health wise, and maybe you have a disability that prevents you from working, but you still want to incorporate a little bit of activity into your day-to-day activities. I always suggest getting a planner. So I have a planner that I plan literally every second of every day. Usually Saturday, Sundays is my day that I kind of let that planner go, because you can't always be plan, even though I want to. But like, I mean, life, you can't plan life all the time. But I suggest getting a planner and planning your workouts. So if you have the money to be able to afford a personal trainer or online fitness coach where they can design a program for you, then that's awesome, because you don't really need to really think too much about the exercises that you're going to be doing. They give it to you, and that's that. However, if you are trying to do it on your own, you know what it's like to, the body, your body, an exercise routine that works well for you, definitely planning it. So plan it in your calendar, plan it in your day, and also keep a record of the amount of times that you worked out that week, that month, and at the end of the month, really take a look at it and see, wow, I completed like 3 workouts a week for a consistent 4 weeks. And once you do that, and that 4 weeks turns into 8 weeks, 8 weeks turns into 12 weeks, you keep going, you get the ball going, and the next thing you know, you're seeing results, because it's not really about how hard you work out one day, or how if you crush every day this week, and it's more about creating a consistent schedule that works for you, that you can maintain that consistency, because that consistency is everything. Consistency over everything. So, yeah, I mean, working out is definitely something that a lot of people might need a little bit of assistance with, but it's a basic thing that we need to do. And I mean, just because your friend is going to the gym and lifting 200 pounds and only eating protein and no carbs and this and that, and if that works for them, then fine, but that might not necessarily work for you, and that's okay. You've got to find what works for you. So it's very important to develop a routine that doesn't create. So it's very important to remember to create a consistent routine that doesn't cause friction in your life. So although, I mean, I don't know, I really look forward to exercising. So that's the thing, is like, I've always been like, yes, exercise. But like, not everybody's like that. And I know when I was pregnant, I wasn't like that. So I can relate to it from when I was pregnant, because when I was pregnant, I was like, you think that this big old body is gonna get up and go and do what? I taught aquafit while I was pregnant, and as much as I had a happy smile on my face, and as much as I was doing all the moves and having fun, oh my gosh, all I could think about was, oh, my ankles, my everything just hurts, Yeah. So I really had to push myself to be able to do that. But it definitely did, the workouts that I did during my pregnancy helped me be a lot more healthy than I was the first pregnancy. And you know what? That's what worked for me. Just little movements, and that was okay. Don't compare yourself to other people, because if you compare yourself to other people, then like, everyone's different. You're never going to succeed if you compare yourself to other people. We're all made differently. My exercise routine is different from anyone else's exercise routine, and that's how it should be. But if your exercise routine is causing any friction, and the type of friction that I mean is like, if it's causing a huge issue in your life where you're not able to afford it, but you're bending over backwards to make sure that you do, or it's putting a dent in your relationship, or it's messing with time with your kids, or then something needs to change. And that doesn't mean take it out completely. It just means that we need to adjust. And that's something to look out for, because a lot of the time what I'll see is someone go for an hour-long workout, and that hour doesn't work for their life. It causes friction in their life. And after about a month or 2 months, max maybe 3, they're like, I can't do this. I'm completely burnt out by this. It's causing too much friction in my life. And they give up working out altogether instead of adjust. Now that's one of the biggest things that I see. Now, instead of giving up the workouts, instead of saying, you know what, I can't, can you say to yourself, okay, this isn't working for me. I'm going to adjust what my expectations are for my fitness routine. And I'm just going to keep going with a plan that doesn't cause me or my family or my life any friction. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I don't want to work out today. Oh, you know, like it's just not. No, I'm talking about something that like, if you have a back-to-back schedule and 1 hour of your day, they always say, your 1 hour workout is 4% of your day. Yeah, but if the rest of your day is jam-packed, that 4% is a lot. Then let's bring it down to 2%. You've got a 30-minute workout. If you can fit a 30-minute workout, that's great. You want to do some exercise on your lunch, but you're so worried that you're going to be hot and sweaty to go back to the office. Well, then focus on an exercise routine you can do without getting hot and sweaty. Which some of us, we only feel like we have been accomplished if we are hot and sweaty. But, I mean, you can schedule that time in. If you feel that's what you need to do, then there needs to be adjustments. Going for a walk, doing a few mobility exercises, stretching. There are so many exercises that you can do that will help you towards your goals. That's it for today, and I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I will see you next time. Bye!